What's up, guys? Today we're going to start working on the Jeep. We're about to start replacing the oil filter housing and the plastic intake manifold as well, along with the spark plugs and the coil packs. Join me on my journey. I'm sure you guys have seen where in my last video my dad had passed away. It's been pretty rough, just to be honest, out there. He was my best friend. He teach me so much. I wouldn't be working on cars today if it wasn't for them. If it wasn't for him, I mean. I don't know why I said them, that's weird. I don't know. My head's kind of not all there. I miss him every day.
Duh.
Well, the first thing we're gonna do is drain the oil out. So let's get to it.
What?
So I just want to apologize. I'm terribly sorry. I have lost probably the first half of the video for this video. So I'm just gonna narrate and walk you through what I did. This has never really happened to me before, but it would be this video. This video has taken me so long to get to. It took me 2 weeks to film. Didn't really realize how much or how easy it was for your clips to be corrupted or just lose in general. I think some of that has to do with my computer. The hard drive was almost filled up. But yeah, from now on I'm gonna be recording on at least 2 cameras. That way I one good clip out of the both. You know, it's a young channel. I haven't been doing this for very long, so I'm learning new things. Yeah. But anyway, let's get to it. I'm gonna walk you through it. Alright, so the first thing I did was drain out the oil underneath the vehicle. Drained out the pan. Took this off here. Don't need that. And then I disconnected this clamp and this clamp here. And then there is a sensor up underneath right there that I unhooked. This whole thing comes out. This box here, I took that all the way out. Then from there, I disconnected the sensor for the throttle body. I disconnected this sensor here. And then I took off that back plate that holds that little rubber piece. And then I started taking these bolts off the top. I took those off, which exposes the fuel rail and what used to be the plastic upper intake manifold. I would have replaced this plastic intake manifold if they had it, but they do not make one of these out of metal. I don't understand why. Plastic parts and engines just don't go together, man. And then there is a mount back there that I loosened, and another mount on this side right there, which you have to loosen all that up.
Cool.
There's a mount right here, and then you can pop this whole thing out. And then from there, I loosened up the lower intake manifold and the fuel rails. Disconnected this fuel line. I disconnected that fuel line. Got that out of the way. I did have to disconnect these hoses here on the front of the engine. There are two. These two go to somewhere in the front of the block. These carry coolant. I disconnected that. I pulled this thing off, pulled that out. And for this one, you also are supposed to take out this whole battery tray. However, I did not do that because I could not get it out. I did, however, take out the battery itself. I did pop the fuse box out, and that gave me enough play where I could push in on this and get this valve cover off. Now, I will say this valve cover is a nightmare. Let me repeat that. This valve cover is a fucking nightmare to get out.
Bruh.
And then you have to take apart these two cam sensors here and disconnect all the wiring and disconnect the wiring to your oil packs. There we go. And then you obviously have to disconnect this one at some point. And then you have to, I took the coil packs out because I replaced them, but you still have to take them out to get the valve cover off. Then there's one sensor back here, that clip right there. You got to take that sensor off as well. It's got one bolt in it, and the whole sensor comes out. And then in the very back corner, where that hose is coming up, right there, you pop that hose off. There's another 2 screws back there that are a nightmare to get to. I mean, that alone took me probably a half an hour or an hour to get both of those out. The top one's not too bad, but the bottom one is so buried. I tried to get it from up underneath with a swivel. I tried to get it from the top with just a short little ratchet, and nothing really worked. Finally, I took a 16-inch ratcheting, or 16-inch ratchet that has a ratcheting head. A ratcheting head that moves, that swivels. And I was right up against the firewall, but I was able to finally get that thing out of there. But I had to go behind all this junk here. And then just be careful when you're taking this stuff apart, because one of my wires that goes to right there, like the clip almost like cut in half from all the pry bars jiggling and all the hammering I had to do to get this valve cover off. This other valve cover is super simple, super easy to get to, super easy to get off. Didn't have any issues. I was still able to get this thing off without taking off these sensors that are in the front. Yeah, you're supposed to take those off, but I was able to get it off without doing those. But you're not supposed to, so I'd recommend taking them off before you take it off. I didn't know, because this is the only vehicle that I've ever had that has sensors in the valve cover like this on the cams. All the other ones have been like the 4 cylinders where everything's on top and you can get to the valve cover like within 20-30 minutes. This one is not the case. This took me, just to get this one out, this one, it took me like 10 minutes to get all the bolts and everything loose. And it took me another 3 hours probably to finally get it out. Just a bunch of jiggling, just a bunch of all that, man.
Why?
And then I did disconnect the oil tube here. That tube right there. There's a mount somewhere around the wheel well in this area up under this cover that you can loosen that up, and that loosens up the dipstick tube. And then I also got my metal oil filter housing installed with no issues. So that is about it. You'll see me putting the stuff back together in the next clip. Again, guys, I'm sorry. I've never had this issue while filming before, but now I know. Basically a week's worth of work. Well, probably 2 days, but it took me a week because I work full time. So basically a week's worth of work just gone down the drain. But that's all right. I walked you through what I did. You get the gist of it. Again, this is not a how-to video like my other ones. This is just kind of a I need to get this done. It's gonna take a while. So I filmed just what I could, because filming the job while you're doing it, it takes like 3 times longer to do. But yeah. Back to the video. Bro, just come off. There we go. Alright, guys, finally.
Yeah, bro.
Alright, so I was able to get that off without having to take this stupid thing out. Now I can get a little bit better look at it. And I can probably get a wrench in there now. Dun, dun, dun. Now time for the hard side, which is that one. This stupid thing out, bro.
Oh no, nigga, please! Shit! Oh god!
Minecraft.
Say happy.
Yeah, that's cool, buddy.
Happy pie. Oh, pie.
Cool.
Yeah. Say how boy.
is loose. But this corner will not come out.
Maybe there's another one somewhere in there.
Well, there is a spigot back there. It looks like the front hole, but it's on the back. And I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to get back there to it. Because I was trying to put the socket back there to try and get it. I can't even fit it.
And you go from underneath?
I can get the one on the bottom from underneath.
Well, I will get the one.
But the one on the top is like, it's like a 90 degree.
Yeah, you get skinny in those.
And I don't even know what size it is.
So you become Mr. Fantastic.
There's this one true. Like I was all excited, I got this thing loose, and now it won't come apart. But this shouldn't have anything to do. It should pop the fuck off. Without that, because there's nothing connected to that thing.
You're such a boomer.
Chicken.
Oh.
Chicken.
Alright guys, I'll bring you all back whenever I get this thing pop loose. What's up, gang? Welcome to working on the Jeep again. I think this is day 4, something like that. I don't know. I don't get a lot of time to work on it. It's like a couple hours here, a couple hours there. I was doing this on my days off, but I've been working on my off days, trying to get some overtime. Just trying to earn some extra money so I can try and get back on track. So today we're going to be working on this valve cover here. The other valve cover, I actually broke a sensor getting the valve cover off because I couldn't reach. I didn't have a tool that would reach back in that corner with the valve cover on to get this thing off. But today we're going to be putting the new valve cover gasket on this thing here. Now I do have to take these sensors out as well, which were supposed to come off before I took the valve cover off. But these didn't break, hopefully. I guess we'll find out when I put it back together.
Wow.
Now, that's kind of the price you pay when you work on your own stuff. Sometimes if you've never done a job where you get like a newer car that's not built like older vehicles, you sometimes run into stuff that you'll accidentally break and have to replace. Or since they've been building them with crappy plastic, you'll sometimes end up having a clip snap just because the plastic gets brittle. So now I'm going to take these little sensors out. We'll start taking out all these gaskets. So these right here, you're going to want to mark which side this come off of before you take them off, or right as you're taking them off. I'm going to go ahead and mark this one with my scissors here. Most people like to use paint, but I just use whatever I find. That looks more like a backwards J or a C. But to me it's an L. Stop laughing.
Bing bing, hello, truth.
I guess if I can get it off, I'll replace it, and if not, it is what it is. We'll see if it came with a replacement. If it did, take all these. You have this gasket here that comes off. And then on the inside you have these valve cover, not valve cover, but the spark plug gaskets. You have the spark plug gaskets inside here that also have to come out. There it is. Now I got that old gasket out. Sometimes they'll break on you, but don't worry. You can usually still get them out without screwing anything up. You know, they do make an upgrade for this. They do make a metal valve cover or valve cover. They do make a metal valve cover. I really wanted to upgrade to the metal ones because I hate plastic crap on engines, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Engines and plastic shouldn't be in the same sentence together, if you ask me. 100%. Should not be in the same sentence. They're $250 for the set. I got the money. I just don't want to spend the money, if that makes sense. Dad just passed, and I'm trying to be more, self-sufficient. We got our own house. We got 3 kids. We both work full-time. So we're trying to do it, on our own. It wasn't the one that was leaking. Yeah, so there's the old gasket. Before you put your new ones on, you want to lube them up with oil. Fresh, clean oil, no dirty, nasty stuff. You just push right down in there. Just gotta make sure you get them in nice and even. Definitely want fresh oil. We got our fresh oil on there. We got these things sitting down there. I'm gonna pop them down now. Well, pull it back out. Just lube this guy up.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
There's a little indentation. And then just start sticking it down within there. We'll work this thing all the way around. Make sure the mating surface is oiled up. Put this guy back on here. And then we're ready to put it on. What's up, guys? Alright, so we're back. I got the engine galley in the middle. In the middle there, all cleaned up. Now we're going to take out the old spark plugs. We're going to put the new spark plugs in. Got these new NGK Iridium spark plugs there that we're going to be putting in today. I'm going to get my compressed air and spray the tubes a little bit, see if anything else has settled down in there real fast. Get my sprayer. Alright, gang, we're back. And I already put those 3 spark plugs in there. Now I'm going to take out these other 3 and put those in. I just didn't want there to be any dirt debris getting into the motor while I was inside grabbing this other microphone. That one don't look too bad. That one don't look too bad either. Yeah, a little bit of carbon buildup, but I mean, it's not too bad either. Looks like this one on the back on both sides is actually looking pretty good. I'm gonna get my torque wrench out. We're gonna torque these guys down. I'm gonna set this to 13 foot-pounds. It's kind of hard to see. I think it's set on. And foot-pounds, you can see the 15 right there. It's a 0. No, it's set to 15 foot-pounds on the money. There we go. So now all we gotta do is loosen this thing up at the bottom. And then we're going to turn this thing. It's going up. So we're at 15. Let's see, 1 knot should be 14. And then 13. So that should be it. And then we'll tighten this little screw at the bottom here. And now our torque wrench is set. There you go. Once you hear that click, it is torqued. But guess what? Yeah, so we got those installed and torqued down. Now I'm going to install the cooler, but I have to run to the store and get some like form a gasket for coolant. I have gasket maker for oil, but I don't have any for coolant. So I'm going to have to run to the store and grab some, unfortunately. So this is going to take me a little bit to get back. So maybe nighttime the next time you see me. We'll see.
Oh no.
And welcome back. As I suspected, it is now nighttime. It's about 8. A little after 8 o'clock. I have to be up first thing in the morning for work. And we're putting the oil filter housing, the new one, in. Alright, so there is the new housing. I just gotta lube up the seals in the bottom. Now I gotta put some gasket maker on one of them. And then we will be putting this thing in.
Seriously?
I'm just gonna take my oil, dip my finger in it, and rub it around the gasket. Oh, that might have been too much.
Want to show Daddy how to work on it?
That's right. Baby girl's first birthday.
Got a birthday cake already on the maker.
Oh, that's cool. 6 o'clock.
Okay. Hopefully Jack looks good.
Yeah.
Look at birthday dinner. Yeah. You get french fries for your birthday dinner. Yeah.
She likes the sound of that. She likes the sound of that.
I decided on make ribs for Easter dinner.
That sounds good.
Okay, I didn't think you'd object to that one.
No. That sounds good, baby doll.
I love you.
Love you, Bubba.
I'll see you when you get inside.
Alright, baby doll. Should just be a few minutes. Yep. Alright, so I got my gasket maker on there. Now we're gonna set this new one down in there. I feel like that's where it's supposed to go. When you're hammering, especially on aluminum, you want to use a rubber mallet. Because if you use like a regular steel hammer, it can really screw something up. And you don't want to screw nothing up. And I'm just going to get these new bolts started. I'm not going to tighten anything down because there's a special pattern that you have to tighten it down in. You can find on Google. If you don't tighten it down on the right pattern, you could have issues.
Duh.
That is the whole point of doing all this work. Foot-pounds, which in this case is going to be, I think it's like 7 point something, so we're going to do 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 10 foot-pounds, 9, 8. And we'll tighten that back up. Then I'm going to get my pattern off the Google machine. There, I've got my bolt pattern. It tells you right here. This one is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is how you torque these things down. This one in this corner, that one, and then this inner one. Alright, so we're going to torque this bad boy down. So this one's number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is going to be good. It's just 2 clips. Oh, there they are. I found them. Oh, I know. Well, I was surprised I found them. Okay. Alright, now I got my clips hooked up. Finally starting to get this thing put back together.
We don't care.
Good morning, gang. Look at that pretty sky. It's such a great morning to hopefully finish the Jeep today. I'm gonna show y'all something. Hopefully this isn't hard to get out, because apparently this little part that I broke that I showed y'all before does have something inside there. I don't know what it does. Like a baffle. But I got the new part. I'm gonna show you guys. See, there's the new one. See, it's got the baffle in there, like the old one doesn't. Like the old one doesn't. This goes inside a big plastic circle that's on the back of the camshaft. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't even know what this does. I'm assuming it's like a EVAP or EGR or something. Because it goes to a hose that comes out here. And that has a little piece in there that I just now saw. Maybe it's pressurized or something. Oh, that one has the same one. But yeah, there's a hose that comes to this. And I don't know where the hose actually leads. But that's just so weird. Hopefully I can get the other one out of where it's stuck. Or hopefully it fell under the vehicle. I have to check that out before we start working on it today. Super early in the morning, hoping to get this thing done so I can start editing the video and get this out to you guys. But I'll bring y'all back when I'm starting to work on the Jeep. Alright guys, check this thing out. This is the new lower intake manifold. Look at that guy. Metal. Metal. Stop making plastic garbage.
Stop!
Just stop. The old one with the fuel lines and the injectors. We do have to take the injectors out and put them on the new lower intake manifold. How dirty this injector is, guys. You see that? There it is, finally. Well, it was focused. There it is. Look how dirty that is, guys. Plastic crap, please. Please, for the love of God, stop making this plastic garbage. Look at this shit. It's all gunked up, bro. It's terrible. Alright, gang. I found the swivel tool. Guess where it was? In my pocket. Alright, so my microphone's not on right now because my phone is charging at the moment. But I'm going to take this back off and RTV what I need to RTV. And then we'll get this thing cranked down. See, might be about an 1/8" thick. Nope. I knew I was going to drop something. Well, I guess the joke would be more like, so you wanted to be a Jeep mechanic, didn't you? And we are back. So I've got all the wires wired up. All those. Got these wired up while the phone was charging. I've got that bracket back on. I've got this wire wired up. All these are wired up. Got the alternator wired up. We are getting there very slowly but surely. And just so y'all know, this is not really a how-to video. This is just kind of like a hangout with me while I work on my car. I'm not a mechanic, not certified, but I'm good with my hands. I worked on cars for a while, just because I don't trust mechanics anymore because I got ripped off. If y'all want to know that story, comment below. I think this goofy one that's got the tape on it right there came off the passenger side, if I remember correctly. Because I remember messing with that and twisting it and it wouldn't come off. So I'm pretty sure that's that side. And the other one's going to be the other side, obviously. I got my coolant on here. This one here. Let's see, what's this one? That other one? Or was this on this side? I want to say this was on this side. And then this guy was on this side. The big guy over here, let's check it out. Let's see, does this hook up to this guy? So I got one fitting here. So yeah, that hooks up there. And is there another fitting? Because if not, that means only one of these hooks up to this one. I don't know which one that's going to be. Probably the one on the driver's side, I would assume. Because that's what side it's on. So let's get that metal piece put back on. Or a roundabout where everything's going. Alright. So. Here we go. Put it on there. Put this in. Put it here. Put it there. Let my nuts go. Yeah. Let my nuts go. There you go. Alright, cool. I still am wondering where this thing is gonna go. And we're back. Alright, gang, we're about to start adding oil to this bad boy. I'm just gonna sit y'all right up here while we get the oil in. See, anybody can work on their car. It's not as hard as most people think. Now, granted, some jobs do take a lot longer. Alright, gang, so we're about to be finishing up. We're just going to be adding some coolant here. Y'all, I don't know anything. That's not going to matter. Alright, gang. We're back. We're back and ready for action. Alright, so we're about to start this thing out. Cross your fingers. Wish me luck. Here it goes. I'm going to set y'all right here. And then we're going to fire the thing up. What's up, guys? Just went on the test drive with the Jeep. Got no lights, no check engine lights. All that looks great. Got no leaks, as we're going to check out right now. Got no leaks down there. Everything looks nice and dry. So you always want to take it for a test drive whenever you get done working on your car. Obviously, you don't want to break down 20 miles away. So you always want to go on a little 5-minute road trip or something to the gas station and back, and then double check, make sure everything looks good. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for this 2-week adventure. Sorry it took so long, guys, but I could only work on it so much, working full time, trying to take care of the family. But I will see y'all in the next one. I appreciate y'all for being here. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button and hang out with me while we work on cars, man.